Hello, everyone. Welcome to True Crime with EVP. I know that you guys have been waiting to see um, this case being brought out to light. I have Miss LaVance Wooten. She is the mother of Tyress Gipson here. Can you say hello, LaVance?
Hello, everyone.
Wonderful, wonderful. All right. So, if anyone is new to this case, just to kind of quickly recap, and then I'll let LaVance explain a little bit more in detail. But Tyress Gipson left his home on August 22nd, 2020, to go to a party with a lady named Brianna Jimenez. I believe that's how you say her last name. And he has never returned home since. Um, he is 6 feet tall, 180 pounds, has braces, dreadlocks, and has tattoos of the name LaVance and BG with a dollar sign and prayer hands, I believe, on his arms, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So he has not been seen since then. 4 people have been charged in the connection to his disappearance, with one of those charges being upgraded to capital murder. We do not know how or why they came to that conclusion. However, it is good to see that at least that is being uh, put into motion. So they know
Mm-hmm.
more than obviously me or anyone, and especially the Vance and her family knows. So, LaVance, could you just kind of give a brief detail of what happened on August 22nd so that everyone can get an idea of what you were going through that day and the day after?
Um, it was August 22nd. It might have been like between 8:30 and 9 because I had to work, so I was asleep. But I got up and I went to the bathroom, and Tyrese was in there brushing his hair, and I was like, "Where you going?" You know, and these young folks, I'm going to hang out, and I was like, "Oh, okay. Well, just let me know whenever you get where you going, because we try to do the little, you text me or whatever, or so I know, or I try to look on 360, Lord Jesus." But so when he didn't come home, he usually doesn't come home. So I was not alarmed that when I woke up on Sunday, that he wasn't there, because he usually doesn't come home. So when I got off work on Sunday, um, I had like all of these text messages and phone calls of people saying, "Where's he at?" And I was like, what do y'all mean? So when I called his phone, it went to like I don't know, almost like you're on airplane mode or something, because it wouldn't even ring or nothing. And so I was like, okay, okay. So then I got my we went through our AT&T phone bill, and these kids, they don't make normal phone calls. So all these phone calls
Right.
must have been made on Snapchat or um I don't know, whatever all these other website things are that the cheer and chatter on
Instagram.
or whatever. So they must have been made on that, because there was no calls hardly on his call log. So we did call the numbers that we didn't know on there, and they were just like some of his friends and stuff. And so then we went to the police department. It might have been like almost 8 o'clock in the evening. So we went to the police department in Jacksonville, and I was like, I'm trying to talk to them, tell them that my son is missing. I'm like distraught. I can't hardly think. My heart is pounding, because I'm like, this has got to be a dream. So my husband's like, you just step outside. And I talked to him, because literally I was just shaking so bad I couldn't even think straight. So I just stood outside. But then my husband and them go on and do the interview with I think he's a sergeant. I can't even remember his name. It's been so long. A sergeant that was there that night. And so around maybe 10 something that night, maybe 11, Tyrese's
Hmm.
friend, I kept asking him, did he know who Tyrese left with? And so he was like, I know her name. He said, I know her face, because he showed me a picture of her, but I don't know her name. So I got on her. He said, I know her. Well, no, he said, I know her first name. Her first name is Brianna, but he said, I don't know her last name. But he said, I do know how she looks. So I'm on Facebook trying to find everybody with this name, everybody with this name. And so I started sending him screenshots of the pictures that I was seeing. And so he was like, that's her. That's her. And so I messaged her on Facebook, and I asked her, had she seen my son? And at first she was like, I haven't seen him since I picked him up yesterday. I haven't seen him. I dropped him off at some apartments or whatever. Da, 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 da. That's what she was Facebooking me. Then I said, no, I need you to call me on the phone. So then she called me on the phone, and it was like 4 something in the morning by this time, because she said she was asleep because she had to go to work or something. But then it was like 4 something in the morning when she called me. And so I hadn't been asleep in 2 days. So
I couldn't
she
imagine,
gets on
right?
the phone, ma'am. Oh,
I could
so
imagine.
she gets on the phone, and she was like, I said, well, I said, because we call him Bubba. So when I said, where is Bubba? She was like, I don't know no Bubba. And so my daughter was like, Mama, they probably call him Tyrese. So I said, have you seen my son, Tyrese? And she was like, I haven't seen your son, like I said, since the other day when I dropped him off at the apartments. So then she proceeds to say, well, um, when I dropped him off, I did see a car out there, like they was waiting on him. And then I was like, now I said, sweetie, we don't even know anybody that lives in those apartments. So why would my son have you drop him off at some apartments that late in the evening?
Were the
Well, I don't
apartments
know.
in Jacksonville or Palestine?
Yes, the
So
apartments,
Tyrese,
they're over here by in Jacksonville. They're over here by Posados. Is that Posados still? Over here
it
behind
was.
Posados, there's some apartments all the way at the end of the street. And then I was like, well, we don't even know anybody that lives over there. So I don't know why he would have you drop him off at some apartments. And, I'm trying to be kind as I can, because I'm thinking everything is going through my mind. And so I was like, well, they said that you was the last one with him. And she was like, well, I might have been, but I know where I dropped him off at. So I was like, okay. So then some man gets on the phone, and I don't even know who the man was, but they said it was her. He said it was her uncle. He said, this is her uncle. She done ran upstairs. She's crying. She's upset. I said, and I'm gonna be honest. I said, I don't really care about her crying. I've been crying for 2 days. Where is my son at? This young lady was the last person that was with my son, and I haven't seen my son since. So I was like, okay, take some deep breaths. 2 more days went by. I didn't sleep. So we sent her, after she called us, we called the Jacksonville Police Department, and the sergeant came over here, and he listened, because I recorded the phone call. I had my husband record it, so she couldn't say I didn't say that. So my husband
Good,
recorded the
good.
phone call, and he took the phone call down. I told him, you can have, the recording or whatever. And then he left. And I mean, pretty much from that day, it's just been like a roller coaster. People don't want to tell you nothing because they're like, oh no, I'm scared. Or people are like, if I tell you this, I don't want you to mention my name, which with respect, I don't mention folks' name because I don't want anybody hurt. I want my son home, but not
Exactly.
at the hands of somebody else being hurt. So I was like, Lord, I just don't understand. I don't understand. So then when about 2 weeks went by, maybe 3, and they arrested the Hicks boy and the Lane boy, I was like, I didn't even know these people. I was only thinking about the girl. I wasn't thinking, see, because I guess I don't have the mind of, like that type of stuff. So I wasn't thinking that all of these people are involved in this. And I'm wondering why did y'all even do this? Is what I still want to answer on why y'all even done this, because I still don't even understand why y'all even done all this. So once they got arrested, here comes my daughter. Once they got arrested, hold on. Well, girl, what are you doing? I'm talking to Jenny. This is
Hi.
Tyrese's twin sister. Hello.
Hi, everybody say hello. Nice to meet you.
We on the live. Yes.
Fix your hair real quick.
I thought she'd leave. But anyways, guys, so about 2, maybe 3 weeks later, they arrested the Hicks boy and the Lane boy. So I was like, okay, well, maybe we're getting somewhere. And you're talking, and here we is over 500 days. So I was like, maybe we're getting somewhere. We're getting somewhere. So then the Shead boy sent me a message on Facebook, a long one, like a book, telling me how he didn't have anything to do with my son missing. Brianna is the one who came and got my son. All kind of stuff like, and then I pray your son is found safe and stuff like that. And I'm thinking, back then, I didn't really just give it too many thoughts because I didn't even know that this kid was involved. Well, young man, because he's 30 years old. Until they arrested him, he was on Facebook capping and going on about how, oh, he ain't got nothing to do with this. If he did, they be done arrested him. And then lo and behold, poof, you was in jail. And so
Wow.
I really don't even know. All I can tell people is what the streets done told me, because I can't say this or that. This is for certain. That is for certain. But then when people was trying to say, this recently came up in an interview, that my son was in a gang. And I said, excuse me? What gang? I said,
Have y'all
they
seen
were
this sweet
saying that,
baby? He does
they
not
were
look
saying,
like.
girl, that's what I said. Do
Does he
he
look
look
like
like a
a?
gang banger to you?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. He looks like a
But
sweet
they
boy.
got to say anything, Jenny. They got to make up something to make these people look less innocent. Well, I don't know if y'all know, but there's a podcast that does a Tyrese Tuesday every single Tuesday. And so there's a young man that lives in Palestine. I'm not gonna say his name because I don't want his mama all in my face, all on my phone, or whatever the case may be. But his dad supposedly called in to the show from jail to say that the reason why my son was in Palestine was because the Palestine boys was jumping him in a game with them. I just died laughing. And I was like, sweetie, my son don't even associate with the people in Palestine. And I can tell you that for sure. Y'all know Jacksonville and Palestine been rivals forever. They ain't just stopped and started being friends.
It
So
doesn't
I
make
don't
any
even know
sense.
really, I don't really even know, Jenny, where to. It's so many stories. Y'all would not believe. Y'all will not believe the stories that I heard. But all of them kind of intertwine with each other. You know what I'm saying? Like some of them is like, oh God, what? And then most of them are like, oh yeah, this possibly happened. But
And
they done a search of the land out there at the Derek Hicks boy land. They done a search out there, from my knowledge, what was told to me. And I only found out about it because, honey, the kids was on Snapchat talking about it.
yeah, I actually asked the detective at the Jacksonville Police Department, how did that search go? Where was it at? And it was around that residence, correct? It was like behind it,
Yes.
but there is a section that has not been searched. There is at least 25 acres back there that goes way back that has
Yep.
not been touched, and no one has contacted, EquiSearch search and rescue, which I have already done. I'm getting that put in place for you to
Okay.
try to help. Sure. I'm going to try to get them to contact Jacksonville and work something out. But there is 25 acres back there.
Wow. I didn't even know it was that much back there. I
And it
actually,
goes, yes.
I actually ended up in there one day, um, on that little old piece of property, and didn't even realize where I was until this lady was like, this trailer looks familiar, that was with us, because we was passing out new flyers. I was updating my phone number and stuff on our new flyers. And she was like, this trailer looks familiar. And then I was like, well, I ain't never seen this trailer nowhere. And it ended up being in one of the Hicks boys videos. So we was walking down through there passing out our flyers, because I ain't never walked in fear of no man, and I won't begin now. So I've never walked in fear of no man, because I know who protected me. And whenever it's my
There you
time to
go.
go, then it's my time to go. So we walking around in there, and honey, when I tell you, people was all out, people was on the phone. It was just like, wow, what is going on? I'm just trying to pass out a flyer. So we passed that one house, and the young man, I don't know who he was, but he wouldn't take it. He was like, no, I don't want to be involved. I don't even want to take it. And I was thinking, it's a flyer. But I don't know
That's
what's
very
all going on
suspect.
down there, but it's like, it's way bigger than anything I could have ever anticipated in my own mind. And there's another young man who's never even been questioned, to my knowledge. And he's on Instagram texting, talking about it's time for another kill, and just a whole bunch of just obscene, ignorant things. Because people don't realize, I don't think people stop to think that They have family. So what if somebody do this to your family? How are
Right.
you going to feel if you're put in the position that you put somebody else in? How are you going to feel? Are you going to be able to stand, or you think you're going to run around here and try to kill everybody that you think is involved? Because that's just stupid. When all I've ever asked from day one was for them to tell me where my son was, I didn't even know all these people was involved. I was just I just only thought the girl, because I was like, well, what? Because this girl did not overpower. When they tried to blame it all on her, I said, this little girl didn't overpower my 180-pound athletic son.
So do you think that all 4 of them, or at least, Cameron, Shead, and Brianna, and maybe even Jamarian, I think that's how you say his name. Do you think
Mhm.
that they ambushed him possibly when she
I
pulled
think
up?
all 4 of them. She was the bait, and I feel like they were somewhere waiting for her to bring him back to wherever they were. So at the end of the day, I feel like this because for some reason she's under the assumption that when this is said and done, she's not going to be charged with anything, that she's just going to go home just like,
Right.
oh, my hands are clean. Baby, the devil
She's
is a
bratty,
lie.
that's for
The
sure.
devil is a lie. I don't know what somebody done sold you, sweetheart, but they selling you a lie. So you better take heed to what I'm saying. You're going to prison, sweetie, because technically you're the one. All of the communication that was made was between the 2 of you.
Yeah,
So you
she
communicated
initiated
with my
that.
son. Yeah.
She initiated that, and then now he's missing. She is the first, step towards his
Yep. Yep.
disappearance. So, mhm.
And then she did come to the police, the Jacksonville Police Department, because we was coming from Palestine, and evidently they had already made it to Jacksonville. Her and what I was told, and I'm gonna say this because I wasn't there, so I'm gonna say what I was told to be Mr. Shead, who said that he was her uncle, went to the police department, but when she went down there, she had a black eye.
Oh, did she now?
Yeah. So they were saying that her boyfriend at the
Interesting.
time had been jumping on her, but she had a black eye that next day after Tyrese went missing.
Do you think that maybe was it a fresh black eye, or was
Oh
it kind
yeah.
of
Oh
healing?
yeah. Nah,
Okay.
honey, it was fresh.
Maybe
Fresh like
maybe
I
that
just
was a
punched you in your
defensive
eye.
wound. Maybe that was a defensive wound
Mm.
from your son. I mean, I wouldn't put it past anybody to fight for their life
I
if they're
I
getting
would sure be
jumped.
fighting. I would be fighting for my life if I
It
got
would
a
be
group of people.
it would be a Grammy. If Grammy's hitting on me and trying to, hurt me, I'm gonna sorry,
Okay.
Grammy. So
For
I
real.
completely understand that. So maybe that was a defensive wound. Did
Right.
what did they say? Did they question her on that?
Well,
Because
she
that's
said that honey, like I said, everything that I tell y'all, this is just stuff that I heard. This is not, oh my God, 100%, because I don't know what 100% is. Because if I did, I know who my kid is. But they said that she said that the last time, just like I told y'all, the last time she seen him, she was dropping him off at the apartments and she didn't see him anymore. Um, she don't know why people are thinking that she's involved in this, but she's not. So I was like, so some girl just picks up my child and then poof, but you don't have nothing to do with it. I gave her the opportunity.
to be
I
honest,
gave
yeah.
her the opportunity, y'all, to tell me. See, she might not be in so much hot water. I gave her the opportunity. So then when stuff started coming out, then her name was up here and the rest of theirs was almost ceased to exist. Then all of a sudden it's a whole different story. Oh, I might have took him
Mhm.
out here to this and dropped him off, or uh, make up your mind. Make up your mind. Because
By the
one
way,
thing
guys,
about a lie, people
this is
gonna question it.
Brianna on the
Yeah,
screen. That's her.
yeah.
That is
I
her.
tell
So
let
she
me tell
was
y'all.
charged with aggravated kidnapping and terrorist. Was
Terrorist.
it terrorist? And her bond is set at $750,000, which she has not met. She's still
She
in prison.
shouldn't, and she shouldn't have now one of them ever had them. The Lane boy, when he got out on a PR bond because they hadn't indicted him, which I'm still not understanding why, but I'm gonna keep praying about it. I'm not gonna question God's timing. And then the Hicks boy, whatever. Um, that child, he's so full of evil, it is ridiculous. I don't think I've ever seen between him and the Shed boy. Yeah.
They have criminal backgrounds.
Yep.
Um, Shed, which I'll show you who he is. Let's go down the list again. This is Brianna uh, Jimenez. It is the boyfriend, the Jamarian Lane.
No, her boyfriend is his last name is Fuller. He's never even been questioned because evidently, initially, when this took place, she claimed that he wasn't there, but she said that the rest of the other three was there, but she said her boyfriend wasn't nowhere to be found. So they just took you and left your man, and all y'all was staying in the same apartment together. Girl, bye.
Right. Yeah, there might
Mm-mm.
be something there with him for sure.
Yeah, that's the one. I mean, not that's the one that I'm talking about is on Instagram and stuff. Talking about it's time for us a fresh kill and all that type of stuff like that on Instagram. But you don't
Mm,
since then went and deleted it.
mhm.
I said, I'm sorry. I said that's why they call it screenshot, sweetie, because you get to keep it forever.
Yeah,
But
absolutely. Would you ever be interested if we did a fundraiser or some type of something, uh, set up a donation to where we can get you a private investigator if Texas Rangers and the Jacksonville PD are not pushing forward anymore?
yes, that is so interesting that you said that because a young lady had asked me, had I thought about that? And I told her, I said, honey, I ain't gonna lie. I said, honey, I ain't balling over here. I said, I'm working to pay these bills and make sure that I can be, me and my kids can be pretty decently comfortable. But I said, I've seen how much that costs. And I said, I know I can't pay for that. And I said, I
It's
don't do
expensive.
loans. I said, so I told her, I said, I know I cannot afford to pay somebody to come for and investigate. But I initially talked to a man whenever this first happened, like a few months after it had taken place. And he was asking me, like, was the Jacksonville Police Department still investigating it? Had anybody been arrested? What else did he ask me? Girl, I can't remember. I'm sorry, y'all. Like my memory sometimes just
It's been a minute,
but
and that's
but
why we
yeah,
need to
he was
push.
asking
Yeah.
me stuff like that. And so, I told him, I said, yes, they are still investigating it. Um, and yes, there have been some people arrested. So he said, well, evidently they're making some progress. And I said, yes, but then it seemed like stuff just went ski like to a total stop. Um, I don't I just want my baby home. The why this happened is not as important to me as where is my child at.
Exactly, and there's
You
4
know,
people minimum that know
yes,
something.
and it's
Law
and
enforcement does too. So,
you would be amazed at how many people they actually say are involved. You're talking like 8 or 9 people, 8 or 9 people. So if all of y'all done attacked my kid, no, my kid is not gonna be able to fight no 8 or 9 people off of him. I mean, I could tell y'all some of the stories how they talked about how they chased my kid through the woods with a shotgun and all kind of just crazy stuff that people actually call and tell me, and I just be like, I just give them my husband's number because some things I just don't want to hear. I don't want to have to be able to imagine those things in my mind, or it just I don't. It's so weird because I some things I'm strong, but some things I just don't want to hear. I just
I
don't. And
understand.
then when I go to court every single month, because we have a pretrial hearing every single month, and the Shead boy trial was supposed to start this week, but something took place that it didn't. Which me and my husband already prayed, and we had already asked God, whatever's in your will shall be done. We're gonna roll with whatever it is that you want. Um, so it's not supposed to start now until July. But
Wow,
we go
that's
to court,
ridiculous.
girl. But you would not
I am
believe,
so
look,
sorry.
Jenny, there's like I think 3 or 4 capital murder cases in front of this one. So we're like in a line, and we're like the last ones right now. Besides the ones that's happened recently, we're I think fourth in line. So unless they get the ball rolling like this, we might be a whole nother year.
I am
But
so sorry to hear that. Well, maybe they're holding Mr. Cameron, Shead, who is a known criminal, armed
girl,
robbery,
yes.
uh, possession of a controlled substance, intent to sell. I mean, the list goes on with this
Oh,
man,
yep. I
with
heard,
this creature. He's not a
yeah,
man.
I heard
And
about it.
it's awful what he's done. And I think that this man right here is the ringleader. And I think
Yep,
LaVance can agree. And I think that he set up Brianna to take the initial,
yep,
setup of getting him lured into that car.
yep.
Um, for whatever reason, we do not know. It's so unclear. And then, 2 other people or more, which is Derek Hicks. Is it Derek Hicks?
Yes, ma'am.
and Jamarian Lane. And
And
you know what's funny, when I started pushing and asking questions, because I've been messaging family members outside, or friends, not necessarily family, but friends of these people, because they're the ones that usually crack,
mm-hmm.
and they are very staunch supporters of these criminals. Then
Yep.
you look at their backgrounds; they're criminals.
That's why.
They're into drugs. They're into, you can tell that there's some money being thrown around with drugs and stuff like
Yep.
that. So this runs deeper. And I'm thinking that maybe uh, Cameron is part of a bigger drug deal than we can imagine. And they're holding information or using Cameron as an informant or some kind of snitch, or trying to wait. We don't know that. I don't know that. But I
Mm-hmm.
do know that in East Texas, where I'm from and where LaVance is, there can be some shady deals behind the scenes.
Okay.
Um, my grandmother, she was murdered, and murdered by someone that we believe did it, and he got off scotch free because he was friends with the mayor, friends with the
Yep.
lawyers, friends with
Yep.
everybody. So these things have been historical in East Texas. So I'm not saying
Yes,
that's the
ma'am.
case, but it's a possibility, and it's something that we need to look into. And so, having said that, these criminals are friends of criminals that are related to
Yep.
these people. A private investigator would be more safe, not only for me and for LaVance's family,
Mm-hmm.
but for the integrity of the case,
Yep.
because we do not have a badge and we do not have the skills, right? So
Yep.
I would love to help get not only EquiSearch to help search for your son in that acreage, because I do believe you're right that he is somewhere beyond that apartment complex. Where is it? The Hicks residence, one of them.
Yeah, it's in a trailer, like a, I don't
Yeah,
know, like a community trailer park looking area. I don't know what you call it. It's just like a
yeah.
lot of
It's just
little
like it's a
trailers.
dirt road, and you got trailers, and
Yep.
it goes
And
kind of,
this
yeah,
trailer is just, it's like a circle. It's a dead end, but it's like a circle. I couldn't believe I
yeah.
was up in there. And like literally, once that girl said, "Do you know who we are?" And I was like, finna pass out some flyers. And she told me, she was like, "No, we're," and I was like, "Really?" I said, "Okay, let's pass these flyers." I'm sorry. I've never been the type of person to fear no man. I just have not. I don't have that type of vibe in me, because like I said, I know who was protecting me. And people look at it and say, "Well, I already know how people think. Well, why wasn't God protecting your son?" I said, "Honey, don't question God, because everything happens for a reason, and he will reveal what it is as soon as he gets ready."
Mm-hmm.
I am a, oh my God, y'all just do not understand the gist of the things that people, first of all, say to me. Secondly, the things that people think, because somebody actually had the audacity. Let me tell y'all this. Y'all can be like, "Shut up, LaVance," to say that I know exactly what happened to my son. I know exactly where he is. I'm just hiding somebody else. I'm trying to keep somebody else safe. I said, "Excuse me?"
Whoa, that is
I
very
said,
ballsy.
"You know what?" But then when I confronted her, it was all like,
There's
that's
a
what I
lot
thought.
of there's a lot of this in East Texas
Yeah.
too, trying to be hard. Usually not the case. But that is insane. I'm so sorry that you have to deal with that,
Look,
and
girl,
other
if I,
people that,
Jenny, if I did not have a relationship with God, I'm so serious, I would probably be done lost my mind with some of the stuff that people throw at me. And I understand they're trying to help, and that's why I direct them to my husband, because he's the man, and I want to let them talk to him, and he deals with stuff different than I do. And that is my son. I gave birth to him. He's been in my life for 18 years plus 9 months of pregnancy. I didn't just, my we've been married for 2 years. This is our third year. And he was here a year before. So he knew my son for almost 3 years. So it's hard on him. It's hard on his twin sister. We don't really discuss it in our home because, you know, everybody don't handle stuff the same. Me, I'm gonna get it. That's why if you ever see me, I'm probably in my car. I'm gonna go in my car and cry type of person, or I'm gonna cry in my shower type of person when I don't think nobody else is home and stuff like that type of person. Because it's like you don't want to burden the rest of your family. If that doesn't sound weird,
I
like
understand that. No, we
you
do.
don't want them to feel like What are we supposed to do for our mom?
Yes, sweetheart. Yes, I understand.
Mm,
I was named after my grandmother, so I have the biggest burden. I understand. Like my mom was
it's
like, "We
just,
really didn't think about that until because in the moment you're like, I just want to continue her name." And I
yep,
love it. I'm
yep.
here for it. I'm here to honor her, and I am through Tyrese, through anyone who's missing. Um, but I understand the burden of not wanting your family members to have to keep repeating this pain every day over and
Yep.
over. I know you're in pain, and it doesn't get easier. And so I have a little bit of a surprise for you. I do have a donation to a private investigator of your choice if you want to do this. I do have a donation of $750 towards those expenses to help
Oh,
get
amen.
more evidence and information to you. And I'm going to do Tyrese Tuesday every Tuesday until he is found. He will be broadcasted on this platform and other platforms until we get more information, more
Hmm.
push, and get that PI rolling. Um,
Hmm.
Another surprise for you. And if anybody wants to donate on that tonight, I will be live recapping this, going over this, and I'll put a. I got to talk to LaVance first about how we want to work this out, but I will put some kind of like Cash App or something up to where you can donate to, and then it goes directly to uh, an untouched fund that only can be used for criminal or missing persons cases. So, um,
Okay.
anyway, and you can also donate to the GoFundMe. I'll post that later. I know that you have a GoFundMe, right? That
Hmm.
I believe it's yours. So I wanted to confirm with you on that, but I'll post that
Okay,
if you
I
can.
have to look. You have to show it to me because somebody else actually made one. People are sick. Somebody else actually made a GoFundMe account with my son's name on it. I
They
said,
do
why
that.
not try?
Scammers do
Why
that.
would you want to try to profit off of me and my family's anguish and pain that we're going through? People are sick. I'm telling y'all, we're literally living in the last days because people they could care less about anybody besides themselves. But then when it's their turn to feel the pain that they inflicted on others, they can't handle it. Well, why did you do it in the first place? You know, when we go to these hearings every month, y'all, I'm gonna be real with y'all. Some days I can handle it. Some months I can handle it just fine. And some months I come out of there and I can't hardly even breathe. Um, I remember going to one where I ran into some of Shead's family. It was the worst moment of my life, especially when I ran into his mother. Because mother to mother, I understand how people want to protect their kids, but my if my son was standing here, he would say, because if I would have done that, my mom would be like, oh yeah, you finna tell. Because I don't see the good. It's not gonna benefit my child from me protecting him from his wrongdoings. Because at the end of the day, I feel like you did it. Man up, do your time, face what you've done. But instead, you throw everything on top of somebody else. But God already knows what you've done. You know what you've done. You probably dream about it every night. So you know what you've done. But I had like a whole freaking like panic attack. I kid you not, I could not breathe. I was like, and my husband was like, breathe, breathe. And I was like,
Of
because
course.
it gave me it, I almost felt like this. I don't know. I really just cannot even describe the feeling that I had in that moment. And all of this time that we've been going to court, and I guess because I'm a woman of faith, I would be done walked up to them. If I felt in my heart of heart that my child didn't do this, I would be done walked up to you and said, I'm really sorry for the situation that you're going through. But in my heart, I don't feel like my child did this. And I just want to apologize for the pain that you and your family are going through. But everybody, not me. Everybody don't think like me. But that's just what I would have done. But I guess they feel like that's like saying, oh, we're guilty of something. No, that's
Oh,
sister.
I think.
Why do people try to call me when I'm on here? Can you text Aunt Shonda and tell her I'm busy? My sister was calling y'all.
That's what
But
sisters
yeah,
are
I feel
for.
like that shows some type of it's just empathy you showing towards somebody because If something happens to one of their children, I can guarantee you they're going to want the same thing that I'm asking for. They're going to want justice. They're going to want people to actually stand up and tell the truth. But I mean, I just, guys, I have never seen a group of people so afraid to tell something in my entire life.
That's why I think
And
this
I
is
just be
bigger.
like
This is bigger. There is a
stunned that
cloud.
people are like, oh no, oh no. And I just be like, what? It's just weird to me because I'm all like, I'm all for truth. I'm all for if you're wrong, you're wrong. Do what's right. And people say,
Oh, I think we lost her. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna get her back. I'll tell her to come back. Are you there? Are you there? Sorry, I think it booted you out. Are you there? Come back in. Log out and come back in. I'm going to let her come back in because I think it went robot. But guys, there's 4 people involved in this case. There is no reason whatsoever for them to not say something. There's no reason. LaVance, honey, if you hear me, come back in. I think it was roboting. And so I think it kicked you out, but come back in as soon as you can and we'll wrap up because I know that you got things to do. Guys, please, please, please share this. Please share this. Let me add her back in. Are you there?
yes, I don't know what just took place. Lord, the
You know
devil
how
don't
it
like me
goes.
talking about the Lord. Girl, he's such a hater.
That's right.
But
So I have another surprise for you real quick. So I was doing some research and I think that I told you the last time we spoke on the phone that I found some interesting communication between it's like an online prison. You can write an
oh
inmate
yeah,
online.
yeah. Uh-huh.
Missy, let me tell you, when I contacted 2 of the websites where people from the Jacksonville or excuse me, Palestine area had been sending messages to Jamarian and Derek and Brianna, I requested that information to be sent to law enforcement because one of them from Jamarian said, I regret what I did that day.
Mm,
If that doesn't tell you that they,
mm.
at least him, knows more than what they're saying, obviously holding back, I mean, that's evidence to me. So I
Yeah.
have contacted the owners of the website to send that information to law enforcement. I'm so surprised that Cherokee County did not catch that because they're supposed to review these things. But it just goes to show Cherokee County, Jacksonville PD, that we need to do better. COVID must have made this case, I think, slip through the cracks that it wouldn't
Mm-hmm.
otherwise do. And instead of going back and working on those cases, because there's a few others too that are on hold,
Yep.
you need to go back instead of just keep going forward and letting these slip. Because I'm on to you, and I really, you have the right to make this right. And LaVance and her family needs justice and answers, and y'all can do it. So I just wanted to let you know that there are writings between uh, Brianna and people outside. I think the boyfriend. I'm not really sure because it has usernames, but these idiots
Mm-hmm.
don't use different usernames on their social media platforms, so I don't know what they're thinking. It's not hard to find them. Um,
Mm,
and so this information is potentially something that could start a conversation with these people.
mm-hmm.
You know, 2 are out on bond.
Yep.
And so that could bring them back in, and say, "Hey, what was this? Who were you talking to? What was this about? What did you regret specifically?" And pushing that narrative. Because if they don't, we will. I will.
Yeah.
We will get
Yeah.
this rolling because it's been stagnant since basically the beginning.
Yep. Yep.
So,
That's what I said. I said COVID has kind of, a little bit to do with it because everybody's scared to go do this and people don't want to be around folks and folks don't want I understand. But if I had the authority to do the things that I wanted to do, I've been done a whole bunch of stuff. But I don't wear a badge and I don't wear a gun. So I'm
Well,
just
this
a
is dangerous.
civilian. So I can't go and do these things that law enforcement can do. And as far as Detective Compton, he's been communicating with me and my husband. My husband calls him and we communicate with him
He's a very nice man.
as well as we communicated with the other detective. But Detective Compton has probably had the case, since about August, maybe
September of
somewhere in
2020, I
there.
believe.
Yeah. Well, he
Or
got it.
21, excuse
No,
me.
he got it last year in 2021
Yeah.
because the other detective left. So he got it last year. So he was trying to play catch up because I know it's a lot of material because I know we gave them a lot of material just within our own little, family circle. We gave them a lot of material. So, sometimes I go back through my material to see, well, what did you miss? Did you miss something over my own little stuff? But from what I'm seeing is it's pretty much it's these people particularly, but like we said, Mr. Shead is probably the head, but they was trying to say the girl was the head. No, the girl done not.
She was the
Honey, that
pawn.
girl ain't concoct. But now let me tell you, now don't let her fool you. Don't let her manipulate you because she sits over there in court and she's just
I think I'm going to
she
attend
looks
that
so
next court
girl,
date
she
with
looks
you.
so innocent. And then underneath all that, because there was a girl in jail with her, and she said when they first went to their first hearing, all she wanted to know was when she was going home. When am I going home?
You still
Never.
ain't home. So sit tight.
And she might as well get comfortable because she's not coming out of there. I've continued and continued to pray and pray for God to send people who do not live in fear of other men. You're only supposed to fear God. God made them, so what make you think they stronger than him? They not more powerful. Nobody on this earth will ever be powerful than the God I serve. Never. So I have no reason to walk around and be like, oh.
Yeah.
I wish
Scared.
people would think more. But when you don't have a relationship with God and when you don't know God, you think in a worldly type of thing. You don't think spiritually, you think worldly. So that's why you're
Right.
scared of people, you know. And I know there's going to come a day. This is going to be the year. It's going to bust wide open like a flood because everybody done got comfortable. They done got complacent. Oh, we're never, if you go and listen to some of this young man's music that you got up on the screen, he'll tell you a whole bunch of stuff. He'll tell you a whole bunch of stuff. He told them he ain't going to jail alive. So if they come get him, they're gonna kill him. He ain't going to jail alive. I said, well, why would you be going to jail, sweetie? You said you didn't do nothing. I don't understand why everybody's so scared when everybody said they ain't done nothing. I didn't understand why people was threatening Breonna's family, but y'all ain't done nothing. Nobody's done nothing. But why are y'all threatening people's family if nobody's done nothing?
Which one was the one that did the rap song? Was it Jamarian or Derek?
It's the Hicks boy. Well, the Lane boy and the Hicks boy, they got a song before the Lane boy went to jail. It was called like Ransom or something. But now the Hicks boy has a CD out that I know people are gonna want to listen, but it's just garbage to me. But he's talking about all kind of stuff. People comes back and tell me because I don't listen to it because I don't want that garbage in my ear gauge. But people come back and tell me about what's on there, and I say, you know what? I'm letting God deal with it because I promise you, He's gonna expose him. He's going to expose him. He's gonna expose every dirty cop, everybody that's dirty and ain't got no business. God is gonna expose them, and that's how I feel.
I agree.
They need to be exposed. Cops on the payroll, they need to be exposed because this makes no sense. How you saying you working to help people when really you working to help yourself look like because you on the payroll of people.
It's so unfortunate how COVID hit and then you had a new detective. Then the sheriff was kind of there was something about the sheriff I don't remember. There were so many changes within the department on each side, Anderson County, Cherokee County, the Rangers, there was something wrong with that. I mean, there was such a cluster from the beginning that nobody really followed up and went, okay, now that we have our ducks in a row, let's continue.
Let's get to work.
There's a lot of work to really dive into this, and they're just like, we got other things, they're not really taking it as seriously. And
that's how I feel, Jenny.
That's what happened.
I feel like That's
Clear
how I
as
feel.
day. Yep.
It's really how I feel. I mean, if people be like, no, and I understand my kids, if this was their kid, I feel like this is the only thing they would be working on. If one of the, from any department, from Palestine department, from the sheriff's department, from Jacksonville department, yeah, I feel like if this was their child, this would be the only thing that they would be focused on. They would be like, no, we're going to find what done took place. But they got 15, 20 other cases they working. So my kid, and then when I say I just feel like my kid is a black child just to slip through the holes, then they feel like I'm being racist. I'm not being racist. I'm saying how I feel, and this is how I feel. If you're upset with how I feel about stuff, then do something about it. Make me not feel the way that I feel. Make me see that this really means something to you. So as far as Detective Compton goes, he's actually been doing a good job. That man,
He's a
I
very
will
sweet
never
man.
forget. I will never forget the moment that I was down there and COVID was like, he hugged my neck and he said, "We're going to find your son, sweetie. I promise." And I've been holding on to that because he said he promised. So I'm letting him stand to his word because he's actually been working. And I already know he's been working because, some people, some of the, let me,
LaVance
all right,
didn't
let me
want to
say it like
talk to
this.
me at the beginning, I think. She was like, oh no, not another nutball coming
Let,
at me.
girl, honey, I kid you not. I have ran into some questionable individuals who, oh, I want to help you. And when you feel like, oh, I just need help, I don't care who it is. I had to pray and ask God, I had to step back from some folks because God didn't send them to me. Nobody but the devil sent them. God did not send them because God was like, when stuff started popping up and I asked him, I said, reveal the real person to me or who this is. Boom. Not even months later, there it was in my face, wide open. And I shut that down real quick. I was like, okay, bet, got that. I'm not gonna deal with people. Either you in it or you not. But at the end of the day, remember the things that you do, you're gonna have to answer to it. I'm not gonna have to answer to the things that you do, but people don't think further than here. They think about today. They don't think no further. When they die, where they gonna go, they don't care because they don't think about that. They think about what's going on right now. Well, what's going on right now is life is continuing to move on. We're moving closer and closer to the end of the times. That's what's going on right now, every day. So folks don't like it when I talk about the Lord and I tell them, honey, change the channel because I'm gonna talk about the Lord and that's what I'm gonna do. Because he
That
is the
is
reason
your,
why I can stand. He's the reason why
that's
I can
right.
sit here and not just be taking pills from every which direction, not be in some nut house, not be done trying to kill myself. That's the reason why I can stand with a reassurance that my son will be home. Justice will be, because it will be served completely. Every hand that had a dealing, every mouth that has been sealed, and you sitting there on the truth, every one of them shall be punished. Every one of them.
I
That's how I
promise
feel.
you.
That's what I know.
I promise
So
you. I will do every single thing I can because I think, I don't know. I think that if I met Tyrese, me and him would have been besties. I have that
girl,
connection. We're like soul sisters, soul brothers from another universe, I guess. But I just like, if I feel like I know him, I feel like he's the sweetest boy. And no matter
he
what
is.
little things happened, it does not make it okay to hurt your son.
Yep,
I don't care what
yep.
happened.
That's what I said.
And so
I agree with you, Jenny.
I think that's what's kind of making this okay for them,
Yep.
justifying this. You know what I mean?
Mm,
But he is not home. There is no
mm,
justification. You are in Shed. And everybody that knows Shed, come on now. Come on now. You know.
girl,
And
you
your
you
lack
was
of
preaching to the
response,
choir.
your lack
Yep.
of response and leaving me on red tells me everything that I need to know. And this is the new age, baby, of this case.
Yep.
So everybody
Yep.
who's seeing this, and I know that there's people in East Texas that are watching this specifically, uh hi, we know, and this is going to push forward. So please call PD if you know something, and I know you do.
Yes.
This is small East
Just
Texas.
call.
We can't keep our mouth shut. We just can't do it. Like, can't. We just
Honey,
can't.
they doing a good job of it down there. Go down there and
The
drop a
wrong ones
pin. It's so
do.
quiet.
Yeah, the wrong ones do, but the ones that are on the outside that really ain't nothing,
Yeah,
they
because
will talk.
people actually have a heart. Some people actually still have a heart. And I've talked to a whole bunch of people from down there in Palestine who are all like, I just cannot believe that they haven't found your son, or I can't believe that this is still going on. But girl, what takes the cake? They have a petition out right now for everybody to sign. And starter fluid. They have a petition out right now. And it's about trying to get as many people as they possibly can. Do I have some? I just said, can you buy some? No. Oh no, I ain't got none. Anyways, they have a petition out trying to get as many people as they can to sign so that this case can go like viral, like uh super duper viral. Because at the end of the day, I feel like it should have gotten way more. Like, there's a young man. I know this is about Tyrese, but my heart just put that child on my mind that is from Tyler right now that is missing.
Yes, I saw
Marcus
that.
Rodriguez. I talked to his mom on the other day, because you have to stand with people who going through stuff like you, because you can actually tell them how you're living it. So you can tell them how this stuff feels. You can sympathize with them because you know how it feels. And so it's just,
And that's
I've been praying
Tyrese
so
living through
hard.
you. That's Tyrese living through you to help, you know, um, other people who are going through the same things. And I know he's proud of you, Mama. I know he is. I just do.
I know.
And I know. And we're going to keep going and going and going. Tyrese Tuesday. Tyrese Tuesday, every Tuesday. He will be broadcasted on this platform, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, you name it. I mean, this is going to be a habitual thing, because this really was, this needs to be made an example, LaVance, that
Yep.
this happens to people of color all the
Yep.
time. I see it
Yep.
all the time. And it's unfair, it's unjust, and we need to make sure that people know that we know, the
Yep.
community
Yep.
knows that this isn't okay, and we're gonna fight. If
Yep.
this was my child, I would be sleeping, for the first at least 6 months on that doorstep of the police station until life has to continue. You got to go to work. You got to take care of your other babies. I mean, right? But you don't know until you're in that situation. And so
Yep.
you need a community to fight for you, and you need a community of all people to support this. And I promise you, we will not give up. I
Well,
promise
I
that.
appreciate that, and I appreciate the donation. I appreciate the fact that you're going the extra mile. I appreciate everybody who has continually prayed genuine prayers, because people don't need to confuse, because some people be praying ugly stuff for you, but they just don't know. It shall be returned to the sender 100-fold. I
I
love
live
people
by
who,
that. Yep.
yes, I love people who actually love people. You know what I'm saying? Who actually, they get down when they pray for their family, they're praying for my family. They're praying for other families. When we prayed, me and my husband, we're praying for other families, because we know how this feels. We know how this feels. So we're praying for we pray for families all over the world. I don't if I know you particularly, if somebody that brought you to me, then I'll say your name. But if I don't, I say, Lord, I'm praying for every family who is grieving lost right now, because it's an empty space. It's an empty space that it's like it can't be filled until there's some closure in your life. You have to have closure. There's like opening a book and then you never finish reading it. Then you don't know what happened at the end of it. You don't know if it ended good, bad, or ugly. You don't know what happened. I want some closure. Me and my family, we deserve that. But
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
these people don't feel like we deserve that. They feel like we deserve to be in the situation that we're in. They feel like we deserve to be looking for our son, looking for my sister's nephews, you know what I'm saying, my kids'
We need to
brother.
get to that. We need to get some kind of clue or tip needs to come about on why they feel so justified. Why they feel so
Yeah, I
justified.
want to know,
And Jamarin
because
doesn't feel that way. He regrets what he did per that online.
mm-hmm.
So what was it? If you feel bad, it'll trickle down once that possible. I don't know if they do death sentences for capital
Oh
murder, do
yeah,
they?
we had that's why we didn't go on to trial too, because I think that they were supposed to have a meeting or something about the death penalty. And yes, I want him put to death when he's convicted. Um unless, and I say this, unless you're willing to tell me where my kid is, That's my only, that there is no other bargaining chip. Where's my son? That's the only
I don't
bargaining
know
chip
why
that I
that's
got
not.
with you.
There's something behind the scenes that's not giving them that power. They have the power, they do. The courts have all the power. So there's
Yeah.
something behind the scenes that's going on to kind of dangle that later. I think that there is some.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go there because I don't want to get hate mail
It's
from a
it's
drug
fine.
cartel
But
saying, "Girl, you better shut your mouth." Um, but there's something in the background going on, either between Shead and something criminal outside of this case,
of
and
course, honey.
that's just how
That's
it is
it's
in East
always
Texas.
like that. That's
Drugs
I
are
also
bad
say
here.
I don't meet nothing that ain't like that. And I just it's just like so weird, Jenny, because sometimes people say, but you still smile. And I'd be like, sometimes this is my nervous smile. And I just be like, I'm just real nervous, especially when I do podcasts and stuff. I'm always nervous. And so I tend to just be like, they be like,
No,
she's so happy. And I'd be like, I'm kind of nervous, but
no, we
I
know
try not
you're
to.
genuine.
I hide my feelings sometimes. At the
Yeah,
beginning, I hid my feelings, I hid my tears. And sometimes I just can't hide my tears. They just flow down my face. I cannot hide my tears. And so it's just, I don't know. We're going to continue to pray for justice. We're going to continue to pray that Tyrus is brought home. I'm praying. I've been praying for the hearts of these people that are involved since the moment I realized who they were, because they need Jesus. They don't have him. Um, I also actually ran into the little lame boy at their little
oh
festival thing they
wow,
have.
wow.
The child act like he saw a ghost. You would have thought he saw a ghost. And he told the man that was with him, there's that kid's parents. And the man was like, I don't give a F because we heard you. Um, I was like, rude, but whatever. Everybody wanted these kids out. So what? So that they can do this to somebody else's family? Everybody wants them out running the streets so that they can harm somebody else's child. What's going to happen next? See, people don't understand. See, when something like this takes place and then you have to come into judgment with it from the Lord and the law, then justice is served. But when you feel like you done got away with something, then you're tempted to do it again because you feel like you got away with it. You feel like, oh, well,
Exactly.
I'll do things differently this time because last time that didn't work. But in my heart, I feel like it's bothering that kid so bad. I had a dream, y'all. I had a dream
Jamarian's
that
the
that
one that's
kid
going to crack if he does. I'm
I
telling
had a
you,
dream that
my
that kid
gut.
called me and he wanted to talk to me. And I could hear his mom in my dream saying, no, you stupid. You stupid. You're going to go to jail. It's called accountability. That's what it's called. It's called
There,
accountability. Do they
there's a
think that I don't miss
25%
my son
chance.
every day? Yeah.
Sorry, there's a 25% chance of someone saying something out of these four people. There's a quarter chance, and
Yep.
I guarantee you that it's these last two right here, Jamarian Lane and Derek Hicks.
Ooh,
And
honey, I ain't gonna ride too thick on that Hicks, honey. He is laying hold to I ain't done nothing, I don't know nothing, I ain't seen nothing. His family
he's
been
got the
so
biggest
nasty to
ego.
me.
He's got the biggest
Girl.
ego.
Ooh, like
And
this.
everybody around him, my God. Oh, the hate that I got trying to reach out for some answers, girl. I'm not even going to go
You
there.
bet you better not say nothing because they he said he didn't do it. I was like, okay, I said I didn't go to work yesterday, but I know I went. Okay. I can say a whole bunch of stuff. But if it's a lie, I know it's a lie, you know it's a lie. But every lie that you cover up, you're gonna have to cover it up with a nothing and a nothing and a nothing. And then eventually it's gonna explode.
It
So
unravels. It unravels like a sweater. It really does,
oh
and it's going
honey.
to. It's
And
going
I'm
to. It's
waiting.
on its way.
I'm waiting. I'm waiting. God's timing is perfect. I keep telling everybody that. Do they, my heart hurts, but God is the healer of broken hearts. My heart hurts. I want to see my son. My son didn't even get to get his driver's license. He hasn't gotten to get married or have any children. He didn't even get to go to college because of something that these people done. And my kid had a scholarship for college. It's just so much stuff. They want to make my kid look like he's a bad person, but you ain't got no proof of it. What's your proof?
Yeah, say what.
Where's
Say
your
it.
receipt?
Say it.
Where's your receipt?
Yeah, because it would be incriminating to them. to say
Thank you.
anything, and that is your that is you criminalizing yourselves,
Yourself.
you four,
Yep.
in some way. So
You know, I've been paying attention a little bit, Gina. I've been paying attention a little
me
bit.
too. I try, girl, but there's times where I'm like, wait, who? Sneed, Shead, Brianna,
That's why I
Habanez,
text you.
Jamarian. Look, I'm a little too cracker sometimes. So like, girl, she's been trying to school me on these names, and even the people that like I called a few, and they were like, who? And I had to remember, wait, okay, backtrack. And they were of no help. They didn't want to talk, of course.
Girl, they're not gonna tell you nothing, but I'm telling you, God is.
But they're talking. They are talking right now. I guarantee. I feel the chit chat going in the background, and things are buzzing. You know, that buzzy feeling of something's talking about you. Somebody's talking about you. It's happening right now, and 2022 is going to be.
Place.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. All right, let's wrap it up. It's an hour.
All right.
Thank you so much for coming on. Again, I will get with you later on the donation to the private investigation, and then later tonight, I will post like we'll work it out about the donations for that and all that stuff, what account and all that. But I just got a message randomly from a private donator to EquiSearch that wants to help you. So I'm so excited.
Ooh, look, God gonna move it around, Jenny. He gonna move it into place. Everybody mark my words. God is gonna move everything into place. There's a time and a place, and God is gonna move everything into place. It's a guarantee. I have to believe that. I have to continue to trust God, because if I don't, I'm not gonna be no good. But I just want to say thanks to everybody for viewing, for signing in and share and like and subscribe to Jenny's page. And I just really appreciate you, Jenny. And girl, we're gonna be talking soon.
Yes, ma'am. All right. Have a wonderful evening. Hug your family, hug your hug your grandbabies. I saw their pictures. Yes, they're adorable.
God, she's so precious. She is so precious. I'm gonna have to send you a picture of her. Don't share it because my daughter doesn't want anybody to see it.
I won't do that.
These young folks, girl.
They're a mess.
But I have to send you a picture so you can see her. She's the most precious little thing in the world.
Wonderful. All right, sweetheart. I will get with you later. Right. Thanks for coming, and justice for Tyress Gipson. 507 days now. Let's bring this to a close. All right, bye.
Thank you. Bye.
All right, guys. Again, thank you so much for being here. That was a wonderful live. I'm so glad that we got to kind of clear up some of the misinformation that I've seen out there. I'm going to go on live later tonight and really pound this small itty bitty information that I will share with you about the rap song that I did listen to. I didn't want to play that with her on the phone. That's not right. But it's pretty alarming what he says. Okay. And there's some things, like I said, on the online website of pen pals writing each other. They post some of the stuff. Now you have to pay for it to get the details, right? And you have to put in your information, your driver's license. It's crazy. But if it's potentiary evidence, you can request that to be sent to PD. And I did. Because that's what your girl does. I'm not afraid of anybody. There's not a person in this world, like LaVance said, that no man I fear. No man. Even if they were choking me to death, I fear no one. And Tyress Gipson matters. He matters. He was a sweet boy. It doesn't matter what he did or the little things that he did. It doesn't matter. He did not deserve to not come home. All right. Love you guys. Thank you so, so much. I appreciate every single one of you. Have a wonderful afternoon. Hug your babies. Hug your family. Be thankful. Be grateful. And I will see you on the next live. Bye.